bring them in. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning.
Put your phone on silent. See that?
In the plain sheet. Good morning, the chairman, human rights defender, and access to justice advocacy center. All our legal department, our able viewers, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we'll have a case of landlady and tenant between Ms. Esenwa and Teresa. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Mr. Innocent Mbaba. Is that your name? Please adjust the chair close to each other.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, briefly tell us. No, adjust the chair
Close
together.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. You reported the case in this office?
Yes, ma'am.
On the 9th of October 2019. Okay, briefly tell the office what you reported this young guy for.
Okay, Mr. Innocent is one of the tenants.
Yeah.
On a two-story building at Pound Villa, Sankotedo, that is off Ibejulepi Road. A yearly tenant, but due to circumstances surrounding his the payment of renewal, he approached me in one other of his two neighbors, Matthew and Emmanuel.
Neighbors or co-tenants?
His co-tenant, yes, that is his neighbors, to plead that he will not be able to take up the yearly rent, which is 250,000, and those ones actually spoke to him. If they have to stand for him, will he be able to pay it up? He concurred for them to move ahead. On the particular set payment date, he defaulted. Along the line, he now pleaded I should please turn it to 6 months rent for him, that his work is not forthcoming and he has been laid off, he's not into contract job. I spoke to the wife, I came into it. For him now to renew the 6 months rent became an issue. We had to take it up to Ajuwe Police Station at Aja. They came into it, that is the Human Rights Department. They came into it and they called him, the meeting lingered for 3 weeks before he appeared. And he did not complete, that is a half of 250. At the end, Madam Comfort, which is she's now on transfer, made him, he paid. But he said after the 6 months pay, that is December 2018, that will be when he will pack out. He's not renewing again, saying his work is actually not stable. We agreed to that, we signed off, we all parted.
Do you have the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have it?
Yes, ma'am. I should go ahead, ma'am.
Notice to quit.
Yes, that was 2000 and
Who is Mr. Labon Jide?
the landlord, ma'am.
Who gave him this quit notice?
Myself, ma'am.
Are you a lawyer?
No, not at all. I manage it for him.
Yeah, you have no right to give him quit notice.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So after December, that's 31st, he called on me with the help of Emmanuel, an opposite neighbor of his, that he wants to renew, but his money is not complete. That is half of 250. That the amount he has, that is 90,000, he will transfer it into Mr. Alabanji's account to balance up 35,000 naira.
How much is the rent in total?
Yearly 250.
250. What kind of apartment?
A room and parlor. BQ, where he is.
Is it a self-contained? Or just a room and parlor?
It's a self-contained kitchen, toilet, and bath.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. He transferred the 50k, the 90k into his account to balance 35,000. That is 6 months rent. Half of 250. That is 125,000. 90,000 was transferred to Mr. Lajide, which he called me. I confirmed. Now, when will he pay the balance of 35? That is January till June. His rent is July. That's how it runs. July 1st till another end of 30th of June. He stopped picking my call.
June which year?
2019.
If you are participating in this case, you wear your jacket when you go out of this place. I'm hearing you. June this year?
Yes, ma'am. 2019.
Yeah.
I sent him several messages through WhatsApp. He reads, he doesn't reply. I call him, he picks when he feel like picking. That is reminding him of the 35,000 naira balance of his 6 months. Along the line, I now had a meeting with the Mr. Jide. Innocent is not actually having a good job. His wife has spoken to me privately. Now let's see how we can help him to let him part away with 35,000 naira to assist him, let him go. We agreed to that. Now that was working to the last one he signed. That is this one, yes ma'am. That he will move at the end of 31st. But if by any form he gets himself stabilized, he wants to move ahead for another 6 months. Apparently, he's the only tenant we accepted that 6 months. Everybody is a year, no one. But haven't had a one-on-one, had to have discussion with me. So, okay, let us accommodate him. It can happen to anyone. When this date or the month came, he was nowhere to be found again. And I called up on Emmanuel. Emmanuel approached him that actually...
Excuse me. Who wrote this undertaking?
He said I should, him and Scott, now Scott, one of his neighbors downstairs, one of the...
Who is Teresa Madi?
Myself.
You guys are just complicating the whole thing.
Okay, ma'am.
Undertaking that ought to be written by him.
He said I
signed by him. Then you wrote an undertaking.
Yes, ma'am.
And you now signed, and somebody else signed. So this is not an undertaking.
No, he signed, and I countersigned. He said I should.
But you should have countersigned her.
Okay.
Because it's not your undertaking.
No, he read it. He drafted it for me to write that I should go and type it.
So who drafted it?
Him.
He should have. Who drafted the undertaking?
Him and Scott, one of his neighbors.
No.
Okay.
After several meetings, we have come to an agreement that Mr. Innocent and Mba to balance up the 35,000 of his 6 months rent that was due on 31st December 2018 to be paid on the 5th July 2019. We all agreed the 31st August 2019 to pack out of the premises. A group and a room and parlor or payment of 6 months upfront is required. Thank you, as I look forward to a positive response from you. This is not an undertaking.
Okay.
This is more or less like an agreement. It's not an undertaking. Undertaking should be fully written by him alone, signed by him alone, and any other person can witness. Yeah, that which is not, shouldn't bring yourself in. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, when after the draft, this came up, this agreement came up, he called on Scott, one of his neighbors, ground floor. I was on phone when 2 of them said they want to see me. And I said, actually, I'm not available. We now fixed a date on when to meet up. After our meeting, he said, okay, madam, I'm at home. I'm not going anywhere. I will sign. So I now went with Scott to the business center. I said, okay, is this okay by you? Because you are standing for him. He said, yes. And I came up with him. And I said, Innocent, read all through the meeting we just had now. Are you okay with this? He said, yes. He now penned his signature on it. That was a month to August. The bills of NEPA now came up. That is the BQ end. The coordinator, that is called, said he has stopped paying for the NEPA bills. And I asked him for what month did he start. He said from July he has not. And he has
not paid NEPA bill.
Yes, ma'am. The record with him. So when the NEPA bill arrived, that was in July, August, September, 3 months now, he has not paid. When
how much is the NEPA bill?
3,000.
How many months?
3 months now, since July.
Yeah.
Sometime in September, 2 weeks to end of September, when I was doing the road sound filling, I saw him. I asked him just a question. I said, Innocent, you have actually overdue your stay in the house. When are you moving out? We have forfeited the 35,000 naira for you to go. He said, I'm working on it. He walked away and left.
In a rude manner. In a rude manner?
Yes, that has actually been, he doesn't pick. So, while he was walking out on me, I said, Innocent, I'm used to this attitude of yours. You read message on WhatsApp, you don't respond. My call, you don't. Except if I use an unknown number, you pick. And the moment you hear my voice, they say, Madam, I'm busy, I'm driving.
Who gave the apartment out to him?
To him. The former person that was managing it, Akin.
Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. So while I was talking to him, he was actually walking, I was walking towards him as well. I said, okay, you said very soon. No problem. I hope you don't want your things to be thrown out of the house, because I know we have actually given enough room for you to pack out, and with the money given to you to move. He didn't answer me after then, and that was how he left me far off.
You done?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Innocent.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
In brief, can you respond to all the allegations?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my rent expired in June, but before then, on the 28th of 29th of December 2018, I called her and told her I want to renew the rent, but the money I have is not complete. That I will transfer 90,000 naira to the landlord's account, then hoping to pay the balance of 35,000 at the end of January. That's what I said.
January 2019.
But suddenly I lost my job. that time. So
Where were you working?
I was working with Chevron.
As what?
I work in the department of logistic department. So I lost the job by before the new year. I lost the job. So I couldn't pay the money up till now. So when I was at the end of June, I was supposed to renew again, but I couldn't because I didn't have a job. I just picked a...
Why are you hitting your leg on the floor?
I'm not hitting my leg.
So why is making the noise? Then you keep it on the floor so you don't distract me.
Alright, thank you, sorry. So I couldn't pay the money as promised. She has come with the different papers for me to sign. I just signed it just to give me space so that I'll be able to bustle around to get the money to pay her or the landlord. But when he said that I actually drafted this, I never drafted anything for her to go and type. Never. She came.
Have you heard him?
Yes, I've heard him.
When I went somewhere, the guy that you mentioned, Scott, is my co-tenant. When I was coming back to the house, he approached me. He said, the woman said he had been trying to get to me, he's coming with someone to throw my things outside the house. I said, okay, no problem. And he now called me and said, okay, let's sort this thing out, we can talk and let's see how it goes. I said, okay, no problem. He asked me, when are you going to? I said, bros, as it is, I don't have anything right now at time, but I'm working on. And the guy said, so he promised me something, that he has something that he wants to give me so that I can start working. So fine. If that thing comes up, that means by the end of June or July, we'll be able to balance the money that I'm paying. It's okay. Fine. So we discussed, okay, it's going to relate with her and get back to me so that we can have an agreement on whatever we want to do. He said, fine, no problem. We called her and after a day or two, she now came and we spoke. He said, okay, fine. He left. While he left, he now called me again. Said she's going to bring an agreement paper so that I can sign based on what we have discussed. I said, okay, fine, no problem. After like 20 or 30 minutes, she came with the paper. I read it. I said, okay, no problem. I signed it and she left.
Did you read it before you signed it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, even if you did not, you are not the one that put down the undertaking, the fact that they read the undertaking to you is with your consent. That you agree to the terms.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, first and foremost, you are married, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you stayed in that house?
2 years.
2 years. How did you enter the house? Did you pay yearly tenant or half month or half?
Yearly tenant. I pay a year.
You paid a year. And your second renewal of the apartment
was 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
Do you know the laws that guide, either that protect a yearly tenant, a 6 month tenant, and a tenant that paid just instrumental at your own will?
Yes.
What is the law?
If you are a yearly tenant, and you renew yearly, you have 6 months notice.
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
But if you are 6 months, you have 3 months to that.
Okay, when you don't, even the 6 months, if you breach it, when do you think you should be moved out of the house, even without going to court?
After 3 months.
After 3 months.
Yes.
You are not a 6 month tenant because you did not even complete the 6 months.
Yeah, I didn't complete.
Sorry?
I didn't complete the 3 months. I mean the 6 months.
So you are not even you are not a yearly tenant, you are not a 6 month tenant. So you are just living at the mercy of your landlord.
So I'm not a 6 months because I didn't complete the 6 months.
Yes. So your rent now, you just pay whatever you like, even if you pay the amount, the balance is 1 naira, and as far as it's not complete, you are not entitled to 6 months tenancy notice, which is the 3 months. But aside that, you've stayed more than 3 months.
Yes, it's been 3 months.
Okay, but you know you cannot keep occupying somebody's apartment without being paid, and despite that, you are still rude. What was your trust? What were you relying on that you are owing somebody's rent, you are not forthpaying, and you cannot be reached, and you equally don't have attitudes that will give you room or time to pay such money? What were you trusting? What is that? What is giving you that confidence?
Madam, sorry, when you said I'm rude, I don't.
You heard what she said.
That
On
is
several
what-
occasions, she
that is what
called
she
you,
said.
you refused to pick. She texts you, repeat to you neglect neither to respond to the text, and if she talks to you, just keep walking out of her.
That's what she said.
Are you asking me?
I'm just saying it. I'm just asking. That is what she said. But that is not actually what I
So what now happened?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But I think that having hurt me should also understand that I'm not the one that say, as in, it's not my intention to say I'm not paying. It's just that the situation around warrants my not paying.
Your situation does not give you any leverage of living in somebody's house without paying.
Without paying.
Yes.
Of course, I do.
If you are living and the landlord don't want you, if you are not paying, it's not the landlord that do you have any right to inherit the property? If your situation, are you part of the family?
No,
Are you the landlord's son?
no.
Is your name among the next of kin? So you have no rights whatsoever to tell somebody because I said my situation is not good. For that reason, it's mandatory that the landlord must give you years to spend there or keep living there pending when your situation change. The law does not cover that, does not say that. If your situation is not good, you pack your things and go to anywhere you want to go to. And you must go out of the apartment. You are not the person next of kin. You are not part of the family whatsoever. You are the tenant. What binds both of you? I give you my apartment, you pay me for the apartment given to you. Just like you go to a hotel and you are putting up, you are being in the hotel room, then you are to check out 12 o'clock. Are you going to tell the management because the business I came to do or my transaction could not work out positively, for that reason I have no money now to pay, then you occupy the hotel without going out? Can it be done in that way? So applicable to your apartment where you are living. If there is no understanding between you and the owner of the apartment, if you have no money now and you don't know, you have been faulting all the undertaking or promises you have been giving to them, and they felt okay, they have no patience anymore waiting for whenever you have the money to pay, you have to leave the house. Then for the fact that you have already breached the agreement or the contract, that the advantage that you ought to get as a yearly tenant or a 6-month tenant, you have already destroyed it. And if they are a yearly tenant, if they are to give you 6-month notice, 6 months notice is not after the expiration of your rent. It's to be given to you while your rent is still counting, as in 6 months to the expiration of your rent. So in 6 months time, as your rent expired, you are going out. If a landlord gives you quick notice after the expiration of your rent, then probably the landlord is also willing to forfeit the 6-month notice he or she gives to you. Here, you don't write any undertaking and you breach. I believe maybe you must have heard about this office either by air or by gist or in any other way. What does your wife do for a living? What is the meaning of that? What does your wife do for a living? So when are you going out of the house? When are you paying the money? That's what I want to hear. If you are doing nothing, your wife is doing nothing. And I just want to let some of you understand that some of you are totally, when they say human beings are lazy, you are complete as I'm seeing you. And that you lost job of Chevron, that doesn't mean you cannot go and do labor work and pay for where you are hiding your head. Some of you, when you lose one thing, you just want to be at that level instead of you looking for what to keep you going until you have your desires work. So if your work is, if you have been sacked or dismissed from your place of work, that doesn't mean, that means you cannot work any other place again. Whatever you find, go and do it. If you want to do a labor work, go to where they are building, go and do labor work. That makes you a man. And that makes you a hard-working person. You can't sit in somebody's house because you've lost your job. They should understand with you. Till when? And if you want to be working for them and let them tell you how much they'll be paying you a month or weekly, then they might not sit from that distance, and then you give them such offer. You are a complete man. You are not blind. You are not disabled. So how would you lose your job since 2018? December 2018. From that time till now, you have no job you can do. You cannot find a place to clean. You cannot find a mega work to work. So how do you feed? If you are not working and your wife is a full-time housewife, do you have children?
I do.
How many?
2.
Are they going to school? So how do you pay their school fees? How do you pay the children's school fees? Because I judge my case based on, I don't compromise. I make sure justice prevail. That is me. I don't entertain any form of wickedness. If the landlord is being wicked to you as a tenant, I will call a spade, and I will do the needful. And you as a tenant, if you are living in an apartment, you want to put up attitude of wickedness, we have so many ways of addressing issue just the way you want it. If you have 2 kids and they are going to school, you pay 90,000. Since June, when you pay the distance, 35,000 naira left. Even from that time, if you have been giving them 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000, you must have got to have finished the debt. So what is in your mind? What is your intention? That you've not paid 35,000 naira from that time over how many months till date? I'm asking you and I'm expecting response from you.
Sorry, come up again.
Where was your mind? And you think I have nothing to do?
No, ma'am. Please.
All this while, see, when did you pay the 90,000? What month?
December 2018.
December 2000. Why are you shaking your head?
He paid in January, ma'am.
January.
Yes, ma'am. The 90,000, and to balance up by end of February, 35,000.
Okay, even if you pay,
December 2018.
you paid. How do you pay it?
I transfer it.
Do you have the record?
I don't have it in my phone here.
Were you given receipts?
No, at the ATM. If I bring out my statement of account, it's there.
Okay. Even is she even saying you pay January? That is also, she is even helping you. But if you paid, Mr. Tony, what is that your name? Mr. Innocent. How can you pay 90,000 since December last year? You are now almost, is your rent due when? This your 90,000 due when? June this year.
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Why are you
not,
shaking your head?
The 90,000 is not more 6 months, man. If you had paid 125, it would have been June. That is 6 months rent. He pleaded for. So for paying 90,000, he is short of 6 months rent, man. Because he still have 35,000. That is Mr. Innocent.
So are you not even that you are owing 35,000? You are owing 6 months.
No, he's owing 35,000. The 90,000, the 120 is supposed to be January to June. Then that is 120. That is 6 months. So it should run January to June. But now he gave us 90,000, left with 35.
The 35 now is the balance of 90,000.
It's a balance of 125.
So I mean that to check the photocopy machine.
Okay.
So the 90,000 you pay since, according to you, December till now, why haven't you paid the 35,000? Because I can see that it's act of wickedness. Because if you are owing 35,000 naira and you are almost at the end of the year, December 2018 to December 2019, isn't that 1 year? How much is your children's school fees?
My son's school fees 58,000.
58,000. And the second person
It's not yet in school.
is not yet in school. Okay, you are owing somebody 35,000 and your child is going to school. And you are there. How do you expect the landlord to feel? Are you willing to pack out of that house, or you just want to pay that money? Because I don't want you to waste my MB. Are you ready to pay that for that 35,000 naira to complete all this, or you are ready to pack out of that place?
Yeah, of course, ma. I will pay the remaining.
I know you will pay. It's your debt. When are you paying? When are you paying that 35,000?
We pay it on the 15th of November.
On the what? No, don't leave. This is our office. Here is not citizen edition. This here is not police station. You will pay it when?
On the 15th of November.
Go and give me paper. Yes. People will keep doing until people will build houses and they'll turn it to offices. Nobody will have a house, apartment for residents anymore. Because you tenants are becoming something else. You do things at the end. People will just say, no, I don't want to. When people stop building house, is it an undertaking or whatever?
Yes.
No, give me a plain sheet. It's going to write full undertaking. I don't have time for rubbish. $35,000 for 1 year. You cannot pay 5,000. You cannot pay 10,000. You cannot look for mega work to do where you are hiding your head. Some of you, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you behave. I don't know how you behave as a human being. You are comfortably living in somebody's house with your wife and children. You don't have job for 1 year. You are still having children. You don't have job for 1 year. You are still children are still going to school. You don't have job for 1 year. You are still eating. And you are putting on nonchalant attitude towards whom you are living. You wake up, you go out in the daytime, come out at night to come and sleep with your family. What you should think first in your life, in your own life, your first priority, one, how to feed, so that you have strength to hustle. That is number one. Number 2, your shelter. If you go around the whole Lagos and at the end of the day you could not find anything to do, you will return back to your house and lie down. If you are living with friends or relatives, they may know more of about your predicament more than when you are living alone. If you have your shelter, you have your privacy to yourself. If you don't eat, nobody knows. If you eat, nobody knows. As you are living with your family there, whatever happened, nobody knows. The neighbor may not know except issues that you take out. Let him service it now. Nobody knows. Any responsible person in this life, what you will ever think, if you are saving money for whatever, the first thing you should be saving money towards is your rent, where you are hiding your head. Every other thing comes secondary. Every other thing are secondary. If they come to throw your things out of that house, will your child be living inside the school where he or she is schooling? Will you go to that school and keep the child in the school and let the child be going to school? No. The child must go to school from home. You must leave your house from home. Your wife must go out from trade or work or whatever from home. As a housewife, your wife is not blind. She cannot work. You've lost job for 1 year plus. She can't find anything around that place to do. So in the whole Lekki or wherever you call yourself you are living, no single work around that place that your wife can work there to do. You are just there in somebody's house occupying the person's apartment, producing children. Then at the end of the day, you tell the person, I told you I lost my job. Lost our job, what is their business? Do you stay in the Western world and tell your landlord there that you lost your job? You are even paying monthly. Nobody accepts yearly rent from you. Pay your rent every month. If you default, you move out of the place. Who have time with all this thing? You guys are keep dragging people here and there in the name of 35,000 naira. You should be ashamed. I don't feel for people like you because you are complete, and I can sense that you are just being wicked. Because if you can pay rent of school fees of 50-something thousand naira and you did not consider first, after all, if your child lose a 10 as a child, that doesn't mean the child cannot complete school. Even if you lack sense of planning, you can't keep innocent children in the house where you are not paying rent and you are paying their school fees, and the children are going to school in the presence of the landlord. Then you come and tell the landlord, what cheap story? Write this undertaking. Give me your full name, your address, your telephone number. Address your undertaking to this. And I want to speak to you tenant or agent or whatever you call yourself. Because some of you collect this piecemeal rent from tenants so that you can easily take jungle justice against them. Because one, when you know that tenant have defaulted a yearly tenant, a half-year tenant, once tenants begin to misbehave in paying normal change as a rent, then that such tenant is at your own mercy, because you can do anything, anytime, any day. Because the law does not cover you. Are you with me? Are you hearing me? If you go out of that apartment, if you are renting any apartment again, You either stand on one yearly. You don't pay less than a year or exactly 6 months. Because the ones you've done already, you have already scattered what should be the immunity that's supposed to cover you as a yearly tenant or half-year tenant has been, you have defaulted it, you have removed it from your coverage. Are you with me? So it's not all about I pay landlord 1 naira. You wait until your money completes 6 months, pay. Then you know you are a 6 months tenant. Your money complete until 1 year. You paid as 1 year. Don't transfer money to any landlord or landlady or what is it called? Caretaker when your rent or your half-year rent is not complete. Don't. Were you receipted? That money, was it receipted? Do you have receipt for the transfer? So, and 90,000, is it 6 months rent?
It was for 6 months, right?
Does it cover for 6 months? No. Is it not the balance you are owing 35,000? So it does not cover. That is piecemeal. You've already, it does not cover 1 year, it does not cover 6 months. So all those your shoulder you are rising up and down. If they want to cut it, they'll slash it one hand and nothing more. You can only do that or whatever. That is to an extent. But as it is, no.
Mom, can I say something?
Yeah.
Aside from the 35 he is yet to balance, he has stayed extra 3 months with us, and that one is not accountable to what is to be paid.
Is it Umba or Mbaba?
Which are
Mbaba.
Yes.
What is that your address? Number what?
Farmfield Estate.
Huh?
Farmfield.
Farmfield. Ville.
Villa. Villa.
Eh?
Villa. VILLA.
Fila. Is a fila. Is V is does it do you pronounce Ville as F?
No, Villa.
Villa Estate.
Yes, ma'am. Farm Villa Estate.
Which area?
Row 7. It's row 7. The house is on row 7. Farm Villa Estate.
Room 7 or road 7?
Row 7.
Agungi, which area?
No, Songote Duma.
Songote.
Tedo. Ibejuleki Road.
Are you people under Lagos?
Yes, ma'am.
What is today's date?
21st.
You are paying the money when?
15th of November.
What is today's date?
It's 21st.
Why 15th of November? I thought you said 15 days from now.
15 days from now. No, I didn't say 15 days from now.
Why 15th of November?
That's when I think I'll be able to pay.
Eh?
That's when I will have the money to pay.
That is when you will
Half.
have the money. Okay, what of the outstanding months you have spent? Because if you are going out of the house, we need to know. If you are maintaining the house, then we'll discuss the total of what you have covered. We are not going to talk about the 35,000 you are owing. If you want to go out of the house, then you said, okay, I am packing out of the house on or before so date and pay the outstanding bill on this whatever. If you are going out of the house, then I have to appeal to the landlord to allow you to go with the 3 months you have covered. But you have to pay the balance of the 35. But you still want to maintain the apartment, then you have to pay for the outstanding. If you are paying, then you know you are renewing your rent. So what are we agreeing so that we know what the undertaking you are writing?
Yes, actually, to stay in the apartment wouldn't be possible. So I'm not staying.
Okay, you are packing out.
I'm packing out.
You are packing out to where? The 15th of November?
Yes, as
Or
I paid.
before 35? Or before 15?
Before then, I might be.
Why are you shaking head? You are distracting me. What
Sorry,
is
ma,
the not? After all, you are not the landlord. Why must you
He
be
will
giving?
back out before them, I know them all.
If he pack out, so what are you saying?
He won't pay his bill.
Why won't you pay your bills?
He has
Maybe she
standing
knows
of 3.
better.
Sorry?
He has a standing of 3 months NEPA bill.
You can be arrested. You can put anybody watch on him. You can put anybody. You can tip any security around that place to be at watch on him. Any other thing? Because when he's talking and you are nodding your head, I don't understand
because,
it.
yes, he has done a lot. That's why I was like, all what he's just saying here has just been his way of.
You leave that now. I think he's going to write the undertaking here. The only thing that crucified anybody is undertaking. Either in court of law or outside court of law. What next? Don't waste my time. I have other things I'm doing.
His NEPA bill, man, shouldn't wait till that 15th because they have
Are you the
a.
one I'm paying the NEPA bill still?
Because
Why are you even owing a NEPA bill of 3,000 naira?
My NEPA bill is 2,000 naira.
it's 3,000. I have
Sometimes we
everything.
pay 2,000, sometimes we pay 2,000. It depends on how.
Per month or a 3? We said the 3 months is 3,000.
3,000 monthly, ma.
It's monthly.
3,000 monthly.
Yes, ma. These are all my evidence concerning him in this NEPA bill. The back flat where he occupies.
Has the light been disconnected?
Yes, ma.
Who disconnected it?
NEPA. And I had to visit the office last Monday to use my money to do that for them. Because most of them now paid me. He's the only one left. They have approached him. He couldn't. And I don't know how.
That one you can be arrested for that. Yeah. It's what he has consumed. That one has to do with a company. That one is not a landlord. What you consume, you need to. And why is the bill 470?
No, this
is
one
there a
is-
standing bill?
They have suspended this line. Sorry, ma. Let me take the one.
Which one is their bill?
The one with you. The one behind. These are the suspended.
And why is the bill running 300? How many people in that apartment, in that building?
We were 18 before.
18. When last did you pay your NEPA bill?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. To who?
I used to collect the bill before, but I've been paying to the other guy, Scott. He's the man in charge.
How much did you pay?
We used to pay 2,000 or 3,000.
And why did you stop paying all this while? That one we can even get, they will get you arrested and you will just go to police station and pay them there. Because you have to pay it.
Of course.
It's what you have already consumed. You are not supposed to be paying a standing bill for anybody, even if you are living or you are staying. When you consume light, you pay for what you have consumed. So you guys should stop trying to lay costs on yourself. Don't do what you don't expect people to do to you. You are still very young, and I believe you wish yourself to build house, right? So if you build what you are doing to others, it's a law of karma. There's no how they will not do it to you. When you use light, pay for your utility bills. You use them, you enjoy them. And that is why this country will keep blaming the government. We, as citizens, we are not helping nation. You use NEPA bill, you don't pay. How do you expect the company to survive? You are parking out when? You are parking out of the house when? You say 15th of next month. If you are paying 15th, you are paying the money 15th of next month. And you say you are parking out 15th of next month. Do you want to be embarrassed with that money? Is that what you want to wish yourself? If you are going out of the house, you pay the money before that time. Are you with me? If you are going out of work just in 21, today is just 21st, you have almost how many days, how many weeks before the end of the month? Today is Monday 21st, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least you can pay the balance of that 35,000 between the end of the month. Then you cannot pack out if you wish to pack out peacefully. That is how things should be done. You started having children. So don't do things that will hinder even them tomorrow. Somebody can lay costs on you. Don't be Nigerians. You guys should stop trying to be smart, and you are smart yourself in future. There are so many people that build house. They did not even build house ordinarily. You don't know what is behind their money, and you think you will live in the house like that and go like that, and you think the person will just leave you. Some of you keep trading with your destiny here and there. To you now, you feel, oh, I said I'm going to pay. Then you now pack your things and abscond. If the landlord, for whatever reason, said, except I did not use my money to build this thing, this guy will never see light in his life. It can work. Because they say, who break the hedge, the servant shall bite. A cause costless shall not stand. Any cause that have a root, have stand for it, it will work. Nobody can curse me, it's a lie. People can curse you. When they curse, fine, the curse is justified. If I'm to curse you, if that curse is justified, it will land on you. No pastor will remove it, it will work. Let's just remove all this thing, not for me, God forbid. No. Everything God knows they for, because God said they curse people. And devil can curse. When the devil have a root to curse you. So you have to pay them. The ones you have used, pay. Then the ones they want to forfeit that you are going out of the house. That means they are forfeiting it for you to go with it. That is forfeitment. But the one that you have used, which is the 6 months, you have to pay. So I want you to pay that money between now and end of this month. That 35,000. Then I can now write a letter to the landlord. They should forfeit the remaining 3 months you have used, so that you can pack out between now and 15th of next month. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You said your NEPA bill is how much?
For that 3 months should be 6,000 to 7,000 also.
Are you not sure?
We used to pay 2,000 or 3,000 a month. So that is how it is.
2,000 or 3,000?
Depending on how the bill comes.
So if it is 3,000, meaning 9,000, it cannot be 3 months. It can't be 7,000 naira.
But if it's 2,000, it will be 6 months. Pay that.
If it's 2,000, it's 6,000. But what if it's okay? You are going to put it 9,000 in case. But if it's less than that, then you will not pay whatever. How did you call that? Is it NEPA bill or what is it called? NEPA bill.
Yes,
Come on, Palo self-control. Did you find it with anybody? You go through it before you write it with your handwriting. This is last time report, Abby.
Yes.
Go and test it. The engineer said he has finished. Go and test it. Not when he leave you spoil it, then you come and tell me this.
In case there's no light. That was why the service.
After we should do that. Are we finished?
Yes, sir.
You understand, Abby?
I do.
You write it here on the play sheet. You shave that sweet out of your, and you use it to draft with your handwriting, just the way I write it there. I still want to ask you, are you packing out or you are remaining in the house? You are packing out. You see the date, right?
Mm-hmm.
On or before 15th of June. Of November, sorry. And the standing bill of your NEPA bill and that 15,000 naira will be paid on or before 31st of this month. So when you are packing out next month, nobody have any business to come and disturb you or whatever. But make sure as you are packing out, don't destroy anything. Whatever you make there should be left the same way. Don't destroy the wall. Don't destroy the sockets. Whatever you met there, quietly as a young guy that have a brighter future and have started having children, you're a family man now, you're not like every other street person. So you behave like the responsible family man you are. You're a father to children now and you're a husband to somebody. There must be a difference between your attitude and the attitude of those single ones out there. And it's the reason why whatever, any decision you are taking, before you take step, before you have misunderstanding with people, you look back. Not looking back because of yourself, you look back because you have something that are looking up to you. If there's any handwriting you don't understand, you ask me.
Yes, there are many.
There are many.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Here, you can ask. Good morning, viewers. Thanks for your contribution, your opinion, and every one of you that have been sending your messages across. God bless you all. Aside landlord and tenant cases, I personally have even becoming more tired of the such cases on daily basis. I think after this year, by next year, we will do some campaign and sensitization as regard to that area, because I understand some tenants also don't really know what it takes to live in the apartment they are occupying. Some of them also don't know how to plan well, which we should understand that anything we should work towards first in our life is where we rest our head. Because that's how you would think. That is the only avenue where you will rest and you will think well for other things. But if you are being disturbed, landlord throw your things out, or you're having problems here and there, of course that also can affect you emotionally. children cannot be in the house while the rent have not been paid and other things will be going on. Rent first, your stomach, at least you have the strength before, then thereafter your shelter, after which every other thing come secondary. Thank you for joining us. Please, I want to speak to the house of our upcoming event, that is causes of domestic violence and way out of it. The program will be coming live on the 1st of December 2019. This year is one of our major programs we'll be having this year. I want to appeal to everybody. Some of you that have been calling us from the west, from overseas, as regard to your loved ones that have been beaten in many ways by their husband, by their wives, and you've always been seeking for our assistance, our intervention. I know that average of you living in the Western world know what domestic violence is all about. Some of you that also have experienced it back home before traveling there, you know, is a bad experience to, it's a bad thing to experience. How do we remove it? That it does not exist, that is not paramount or much in the Western world, doesn't mean it does not exist. It exists, but they have clamped it down to the barest minimum. And back home here, we'll have challenges in that, serious challenge in that aspect. So many women, just like I told you, there are so many cases who have resolved outside the bringing outside life that have to do, like the one we did last Friday or Saturday, because they have to, you listen to the woman and everything. Then also young girls that are being future being destroyed by men like that due to domestic violence, killing, and so on and so forth. There are so many things that cause domestic violence. We are going to be discussing that. We have we'll be inviting girls from Ghana and also from National Human Rights Commission that will be lecturing, and other events that will be coming up that day. I want to appeal to our friends, our followers, our fans in our social media and even back home here. Please, we need your support in all ramifications. The venue is there, the things we need to use to entertain, the decoration, the t-shirts for the campaign, so many things. We'll be inviting other people for the entertainment, because it's not going to be a dull moment. Lecturers have to come in. We have for entertain. We are looking up to having up to like 400 to 500 guests, as in men and women, couples, singles, that day, and we need to find a way to entertain them. Nothing is too small and nothing is too big. Please, if you really stand on the ground that domestic violence should be eradicated from our society, from our home, from in between, from the midst of couples, our brothers and sisters, they should be educated on how to maintain peace or resolve the issue in the family other than violence and or whatever. Please be supportive, support us in any way you can. Just like Miles will be posting what we need, like the venue will be posting the amount or whatever, as we have our total rough calculation between now and Wednesday this week. The event day is just by the corner. Please don't leave us, don't leave it on us, on our shoulder. Everyone that have been putting call across to us, supporting, and have been sending their opinion, their ideas, and putting calls when we have issues that is affecting both men and women in our society. It is the time now that you are not here or you are not in this office to participate, neither to put a stop to that. This is an avenue for you to contribute your own quota towards the eradication of domestic violence in our society. Please I will appeal to every one of you. However, whatever you can, be of help to make sure that event take place, and we also will appreciate, we will be so much glad about that. And if you have any business you want to advertise on our yearly calendar and break sure for that event, please you let us know. If there is any business that you want to advertise there, we will tell you what it costs to place your advert there. And those that support us, if there's any way you want us to advertise your business or whatever, there's a space for that in the brochure and our yearly calendar that will be coming up. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us for this case this morning. God bless you all and have a wonderful day. See you much later today. Bye.
Yeah, sorry.
HRDAJAC, Ajak. HR. Write it in capital letter.
Yeah.
DA
D
JAC.
A